Welcome in a new video of stack implementation. I'm really sorry for not posting any video recently. I had some issues with my microphone. I bought a new one recently, so I'm going to continue the playlist once again. Thank you for supporting the channel all this time. I really appreciate all of your help. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. So firstly, what is a stack? Stack is an imaginary data structure. We imagine this kind of data structure to solve real-world problems. We can use array or linked list to implement stack. In this video, I'm going to use linked list to implement stack. Let's start by adding some drawings. Let's start by drawing a node first. The node has two parts. One part is pointing to another node and the other part is storing the data. Now let's put one node on top of another node. Every node should point to the node below. The bottom node should point to null. There is main three function in a stack: push, pop, and the last one is called peek. Let's try to understand the push function. Let's put number to all of our nodes. Now let's create a new node. Now let's point it to the top of the stack. Now this node becomes the new top node of the stack. This is the basic operation of a push function. Now let's understand pop. Pop removes the top element from the stack. Let's break the link between two topmost element of the stack. Now let's shift the top pointer to the next node. This is called the pop operation. Now let's discuss about peek. Peek is exactly like pop, but peek do not remove the top element from the stack, but instead it only returns the value of the top node. Okay, so let's start by how we are going to set up the whole folder structure. Let's create a folder for our main stack data structure. Here stack. It will create the folder. So now if I ls, and there it is, our new folder. Let's I'm going to first create two things. So the first thing, let's just go to the stack folder. So here I am inside the stack folder. So right now it's empty completely. So let's open and create some files inside this. So the first file I'm going to create is makefile, right? Done. Makefile is created. Now the next file I'm going to create is the next file is like the stack header file, where I'm going to put every kind of declaration into what my stack's data structure gonna have. So it's there. And now the next file is the stack.cpp file, which actually will represent the definitions of everything. This is the next stuff. And there will be a testing file, which is our main.cpp. Testing file is also added. Now let's just quit this for some time. We are going to add the node files, but I'm going to copy the node files from the linked list folder, because my node is going to be pretty similar, and if I need to change anything, I'm going to change that from here. Go just one directory, or you can just copy that from there also. So just copy it, linked list, node.h, and also the linked list node.cpp. This two file, copy it into my stack slash stack. Now they're completely copied. So let me go to the stack folder. Okay, inside this, let's open our term editor. Okay, as you can see, node.h and node.cpp is here already, so I have copied them. So this will be our main folder structure, all file structures. How we're going to put all the stuffs inside this. Okay, so let's go to the node header file. So this will be our node. We also do it in this fashion in the previous videos also. So this is the node, and this is the declaration for all those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close and quit. So let us start by defining the header file for the stack. Now let's include all the things that we need. We need the node header file. Let's define this as a header file for stack. We will also enclose this with a endif. Now let's define what our stack's gonna have. Firstly, we will need two variables. Let's make them private. One is a node pointer to the top of the stack and the other one is the size of the stack. Now our stack should have a constructor which will take an integer value, and the rest of them are push, pop, peek and print. Push will take one integer value and return the same value. Pop will return the value from the top of the stack and peek will also do the same. Print is an extra function to print the stack from top to bottom. Let's start by declaring all the functions. Firstly, let's include the header files we need. The IO stream, the header file for the node and the stack header file. Now let's define our constructor. It will take one integer value. Firstly, the constructor gonna create a new node and pass the value to it. Now it will update the top pointer to the freshly created nodes pointer. Let's also increase the stack size to 1. Now let's implement push function. It will take one integer value. After that, it will create a new pointer to a new node and pass the value to the new node. Now the new node should point to the top node of the stack. Now let's update our top pointer to the new node. Also, let's update the size by 1 and return the same value that is passed to the push function. Now let's create our pop function. Firstly, let's check if the stack is empty or not. If the condition becomes true, let's return -1 and leave a message that stack has no element. Now let's create a new pointer to our top node and let's update our top node to its next node. Let's detach the previous top node by assigning a null to its next node. Let's decrease the stack size by 1 and return the previous top node's stored data. Now let's create the pick function. It's a very simple function. It will return the top node's stored data. Now let's create the print function. Print function will create a new pointer iterator which will point to the top node. Now we will make a while loop and set its condition to check if the iterator becomes null or not. Now let's update our iterator to its next node inside the loop. Now let's add a standard cout of the data, including the space separating all of them. After the loop, let's add a new line. Now let's build our testing file. Let's include the header file that we need, the IO stream and the stack's header file. Now let's add our main function and make a return 0. Now let's create a stack object and pass a 5 to it. Let's print the stack. Now let's run the make command and see if this is returning 5 or not. Yes, it's returning 5. Now let's push two elements, 81 and 67, and let's print the stack again. Now let's run make and see. It's returning 67, 81 and 5, which is the stack top to bottom. Now let's add to pop. It should remove the 67 and 81 from the stack. Now let's add two more pops. This should empty the stack and also should return stack has no element. Now let's add bunch more elements to it and see if the output is okay or not. Okay, so this was the whole implementation of stack. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.